This is the Ryan Day Show, presented by Roosters, a fun casual joint, and brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance, the American Dairy Association Mideast, and by Credit Union of Ohio on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Now, along with head coach Ryan Day and former OSU All-American Jim Lachey, here's the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels.
All right, we'll say it once before he comes out. It's Michigan week. That'll be the last time we use that word for our show with Coach Day today, as Ohio State gets ready to take on their arch rivals from Ann Arbor on Saturday. 10-1 Buckeyes, 7-1 after the win over Indiana. Michigan 6-5, 4-4 within the conference. But it's always an exciting week, Jim.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, this is, a lot of times why you recruited to come to Ohio State is for this game, for this purpose. And back in the day, if you got an offer from the team up north, you're an Ohio guy, you were getting an offer from Ohio State the next day, and vice versa. And that's just the way it's been, because they did such a great job recruiting Ohio guys over the years, and certainly Ohio State wanted to keep all those guys here in state. But they're coming off a great victory. Let's face it, you get a top 5 victory against Indiana, and Ohio State. Indiana was kind of a little puzzle piece you had to solve that first quarter. Ohio State started with a 3-and-out, and then Indiana took it down and got that lead, and then Ohio State, turned it over on downs their second series. So not quite the start you'd like to have, but from the second quarter on, it was a thing of beauty, especially the way the defense was able to come out and play. And offensively, they found ways to get in the end zone. Travion Henderson, obviously made the play, and Emeka Bukas making some plays out there. And, Will Howard doing a good job tossing that football around. But it was the defense, the way they played. You're going to win a lot of ball games if your defense comes up with 5 sacks and pressures the quarterback, gets a fumble, things like that. Good things are going to happen, and they did for Ohio State.
Now, this rivalry game's a big reason why a lot of these seniors came back to play this year.
That's what they talked about. Guys like Jack Sawyer, who kind of led the band, so to speak, of getting a lot of these guys come back, was for this opportunity. And you hate to go through here 4 years and not get your gold pants, not get a chance to win a Big Ten championship and opportunity to play for a national championship. So that's one of those reasons why a lot of those juniors decided to come back for another year, was for this opportunity for this game. And you can say that, but then you got to put yourself in that position. And they spent all the work in the off season, all throughout spring ball, all throughout summer ball, and now here we are in week 12. Of the regular season, and they put them in position to have everything in front of them, and that's a lot of hard work. A lot of things have to go your way. You have to overcome injuries, which this team has been able to do, especially on the offensive line. And here we are a couple days before the one of the biggest games of their career,
and all of their goals are still in front of them.
That's exactly right. You want to play for that Big Ten championship and get a chance to Oregon's in there. They've already punched their ticket, and you lost to them by 1 point on the road, and kind of a controversial game, when, so to speak, at the end, when you have an offensive pass interference that takes you out of field goal range and melts some time off the clock when they had 12 men on the field. So a lot of things kind of happened in that ball game, and still at the end it was a 32-31 ball game. So you're in position to win that, and you'd be sitting here undefeated without that. But they overcame that. They knew that they had to find ways to apply more pressure to the opposing quarterback after Gabriel was able to stand back there and make some plays throughout the course of that game. And boy, have they. They found ways to get sacks, get pressure. And, we saw that last week with Cody Simon. 10 tackles, 2.5 sacks in that ball game. Just, all the guys. To come up with 5 sacks was a thing of beauty. And I know we'll get a chance to talk to Coach Knowles later on today, hopefully. And that whole staff needs to be congratulated for what they were able to come up with a good game plan. And then, you can talk about it and put it on paper and put it on the board and practice it, but then you got to go out there and execute it on game day. And these guys were able to do that.
Speaking of goals, playing your best in November is always a goal for this football program.
It is. That's, what you work for those opportunities and, a chance to, win out. And, they put themselves in that position to do that. Now they got to go out and face a team that's 6-5 and hasn't had their best year after winning the national championship, but they're still in position to do what they want to do. So you got to play your best football in November, and Ohio State has been.
Coach Day, thanks as always for your time. We appreciate it, and certainly you've talked about how not just this week is exciting because of what's here, but it's something that's worked on year-round.
Yeah, it's a busy week. We got a lot going on here, getting ready for Wednesday practice, and certainly got a lot going on. And then we'll wake up in the morning. We used to wake up a little bit earlier for Thursday practice. We got to let them sleep in a little bit, stay with our routine, and that's the idea, is to stick with your routine. And we build all the way to this game. This is where we start every year. So everything we're doing this week is exactly what we've been doing for the last 11 weeks, and that's why so much going on with this game. You can just focus on your routine.
Coach, going back to, you want to start fast, you want to get out of game, but then you look offensively, you have the 3 and out. Defense allows them to take it down the field. You get the ball back, and, two of the probably greatest plays that I've seen in a while, the 3rd and 25, or, then you find a way to get it to 4th and 10, and then you find a way to, Cardinal Tate to go for it and get that, and, then you not end up scoring. But still, how do you talk to this team about coming out of the gate a little bit faster?
Well, that's it. I mean, this is going to be important to come out of the gate fast, no question, and set the tone. And, this game does go fast. It's like there's a build-up to this game, but it goes by real quickly. So you got to maximize every single moment. And so, we're talking about getting to bed early, like we've talked about, getting up early this week so that, when noon kicks and we have a fast start in this game and executing at a high level and making sure we're clean early.
It's important for a team, not only in this game and this week, but in any situation when, as you say, deal with adversity, that they maintain good composure.
Yeah, and resilience, that's a good example of what Jim just talked about. We got off schedule there. We got a penalty, and then took a sack. We kept staying after it, and then we found ourselves in a 4th and 10. And really, when that was on the field, it was like it didn't make a whole bunch of sense to pooch punt in that spot. Maybe you could have. You would have gained about probably 15, 20 yards, depending on where the ball ended up getting, caught or downed. So say at this point, a field goal is probably too much. Let's just go. 4th and 10 is not typically something you always do, but felt like in that moment go, and it's again, resilience is going to be important in this game.
And you had a situation against Northwestern when when Jeremiah, the pass got overturned, his touchdown catch, you decided to pooch punt 29 yards. You're not changing the field much. They took the ball at the 8, and they actually ended up taking that drive down the score. But that's what I was thinking too. The same thing. I mean, you're in a position of the field too long for a field goal. Let's see, you got to trust your guys.
Yep.
And, obviously Cardinal Tate was able to come up big in those 2 plays.
Yeah, that was big. Protection was okay there, but I thought the route was really clean, and the ball was thrown on time. So, big play. And, coming after 3rd and 35 to convert on, 3rd and 4th down was big in the game, even though we actually didn't end up scoring that drive. But it was a moment, momentum, and that's going to be big. Momentum will be big in this game.
Cardinal Tate's name being mentioned the last few weeks, he certainly has been a guy that's helped seemingly add to the number of threats you have out there offensively.
Oh, yeah. Carnell's a major weapon for us, and we're going to need him to play good in this game. And every single play matters. Every yard's worth 2. That's just the way we look at it. And so everybody who's involved in this thing, has got to be on their game and taking care of the football and be ready to be a competitive excellence.
Paul and I were talking about the way this defense is playing. You're going to win you a lot of ball games. When you can put pressure on the quarterback, you can get stops. I mean, Indiana had a first drive and a last drive where they were able to put some things on the field and, get in the end zone. Long drives, I think the first one was 11, the last one was 15 plays. But in between that point, it was carnage. I mean, you were able to get a lot of pressure on the quarterback, shut down the run, and, do what you had to do defensively. And you got to be proud of the way those guys prepared and then went out and executed.
Yeah, and that's, like you said, it starts with stopping the run. We say that every week. You got to stop the run, and then you force them into a situation where they got to throw the ball a little bit more, and then you combine that with the crowd. We talked about it on the air last week, and it's going to be the same thing this week. And I think everyone could feel it. You guys could feel it. The fans could feel it. Exactly what we talked about. And early on, Indiana had the clap system going, and it's the same thing with this team right here. There's a cadence. And when it's so loud that you can't hear it, because you saw, I think it was the second play of the game, the center thought he heard a clap. He didn't hear the clap. The ball was snapped early, and they were fortunate that the quarterback actually caught the ball because the linemen they didn't come off the ball, so it was kind of a helter-skelter play. From then on, they went to the silent cadence, and it was a big advantage for us. So, we've got to do the same thing in this game. I know we will. I know the crowd will bring it. I felt like the the players fed off the crowd, but I also felt like the crowd fed off the players in this game. It'll be the same thing on Saturday, and that'll be a huge advantage for us to be able to rock off the ball on defense.
If you have a question for Coach Day, you can submit them to our Union Home Mortgage inbox at ohiostatebuckeyes.com and click on the Ryan Day Show inbox. Union Home Mortgage, the official home lending sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Learn about their 1% down payment program at uhm.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 2229. And the foundation is operating a 50-50 raffle at Ohio State's game this Saturday with proceeds supporting community-based NIL opportunities and the foundation charities. For more information on how you can participate, visit OSU5050.com. Saturday, Ohio State hosting the team up north will be on the air with the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show beginning at 10:30 a.m. More of today's show presented by Roosters coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Hey, Ohio State fans, it takes a lot of energy to root for the Buckeyes. That's why Burger King is going to get your team going with the $20 Buckeye Blitz Bundle. This OSU fan exclusive has a delicious lineup that includes 2 Whopper sandwiches, 1 cheeseburger, 3 small fries, and 3 small drinks. Get over to your local BK and get fueled up for game day. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Cheers to a great day and this ice-cold Corona.
You know what would make this day even better? My grandma's carne asada.
Or your grandma here with us, making carne asada.
She does love a cold Corona.
Throw in some dancing.
Oh, we can watch the game.
I'll drink to that.
So a backyard concert with football, food, dancing, and Corona?
And your grandma.
Or we could keep it simple.
Simple is good. Want a Corona?
Thanks. Salud to the perfect day.
Corona, la vida más fina. Get your Corona at ordercorona.com. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Import, Chicago, Illinois.
Get ready, Buckeye fans. Donato's just added something special to the pizza playbook. Introducing Donato's new Block O pizza. Donato's golden thin crust cut in that trademark Block O shape, loaded with crispy pepperoni, smoked provolone cheese, and Buckeye Spirit. It's the perfect pizza for game day or any day in Buckeye country. Now get a Block O pizza for just $10 with any pizza purchase. Order today with the Donato's app or at donatos.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
This is Ohio State head football coach Ryan Day, asking you to help provide 2 million meals to feed our community. Just round up at the register today. Every dollar provides 10 meals for neighbors in need. Get in the game and let's tackle hunger.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint. With their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind or grab a carryout. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizza, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Buckeye football lives here. The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back to our show this week in time for our duties report presented by Elk & Elk Injury Lawyers, dedicated to every client every day. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. And speaking of a deep group and a deep list, you've got a number of seniors and players and other folks like your senior managers that will be acknowledged in this game on Saturday, folks that have spent a lot of time and have meant a lot to this football program.
Yeah, there's no question. It's a big day for everybody. But certainly the ones that, this will be their last time coming out of the tunnel and into the shoe and playing at home. So we talk all the time that on Friday nights over at the golf course that, I don't want to, hear about it the night of, the team up north game or, the day of or anything like that, or see any tears, because, you have an opportunity to be thankful and grateful every time you walk out in this field during your entire year, and use every moment during the season to leave your legacy behind. Don't wait till the last game to let all that emotion show. And I think our guys are going to do that, because I think an important part of this game is keeping your emotions in check. Playing as hard as you possibly can, but relying on the training that's led you to this point, and not let the moment get so big that you can get your emotions out of whack. So all things we talk about going into this game. But all that being said, a big day for everybody.
One guy that's been awful impressive that's in that group is Will Howard. I mean, the way he's come in here and the way he's exhibited his leadership, especially the last couple of weeks when guys have got banged around. You've seen that. And, since the Oregon game, I thought he's really taken it to another level. And then when Seth got hurt, and you mentioned it last week, how he took the reins of that guys and says, hey, we can do this together. And just to see him go out there and compete. I mean, 80% passes, 14 in a row last week. That's not easy to do. You play quarterback. No. And, he finds a way to get it done. He's got some good receivers, but still, you got to have something about you to get that in.
Oh, yeah. His leadership's gotten stronger and stronger each game. And, he wants to win this one in the worst way for a lot of reasons. And, again, I just have been very impressed with his leadership, with his intensity, with his competitiveness, with his positivity. He's got an energy about him. We've talked about this before. I think the huddle was really the right thing to do with this group because of his command in the huddle and his ability to look everybody in the eye. And when they break the huddle together, there's confidence that the guy running the show has got this thing. And that's really rubbed off on our team. And, it's going to matter the most this Saturday.
That covers our question from Matt in Westerville from our Union Home Mortgage inbox. I want to also ask you about, you talked about you felt like Travion Henderson probably ran some of the hardest he ran all year. Is that still a byproduct of dividing the workload between he and Quinshon Judkins?
Yeah, I think so. And, he's now a senior, and he's played a lot of football here, and he's playing at his best now. And I think this is a guy who, made the decision to come back, had a real opportunity to get drafted, fairly early in the NFL draft last year, but has really made giant improvements, in my opinion, as a player in all three phases. As a route runner, in protection, and then also running the football. And you're seeing it now. And I think he's become a strong leader for us on offense as well. You can feel it with his play. You can feel it with his practice habits. And so, again, another guy who's going to be carrying the ball a lot for us on Saturday is going to have to own that ball, make all the hard yards and win the hidden yards.
Travion's 79 yards away from passing my old teammate Tim Spencer to be number 5 in the history of the program. And, I think that's, obviously a great step to say that you're in the top 5 at Ohio State when you look at all the great running backs that they've had over the years. But just to see him, and then, again, his things about him, that 39-yard run. I mean, just, he had some – you got to be thinking, man, so many people are just going to get in that end zone. But,
right.
He wouldn't take some more time off that clock. There's just not many guys that are like that. And, just to see how unique he is, how good of a runner is. And him and Quinshon have, stayed relatively fresh. And, this is for the reason now is why you've done all that stuff.
That's it.
Is for these games coming up.
That's exactly it. And everything we've been doing up to this point is leading to this point right here. And, I think like they're both fresh, and they got to be fresh on Saturday. They got to run through contact. They got to run hard. But, I think Travion's an example of someone, who – when it's all said and done, he wants to have something to show for all his work and what he's done at Ohio State. It's one thing to be here for 2 or 3 years, move on and, go on to the next step. It's another thing to leave something behind and leave a legacy behind. And, the only way you can do that here as a running back is to be here for 4 years. You can't just do that in a year or 2 or 3. And so, you're starting to see those numbers add up because of what he's done in a body of work. And so, he's, again, one of the guys that wants to have some hardware at the end of the season, and having a pair of gold pants go a long way.
Brad in Waseon next in our Union Home Mortgage inbox, and he's asking about your reference constantly to the middle 8 minutes of the game and how things have changed regarding philosophies when taking the ball when the new clock rules went into effect, limiting the number of possessions.
Yeah, it really did. It changed sort of how I approached it with the 2-minute warning, with the fact that we're huddling now, possessions are down. So everything is, more important. Everything's ramped up. So the efficiency, the execution, the decisions that are made, the clock management that's made. A great example of that was on Saturday. We ended up taking 2 timeouts inside of the 2-minute warning, got the ball back after the block punt. But either way, we were going to get the ball back, scored there. And at the time, it was 7-7 or 14-7. And then by the time it was all said and done, we come out in the second half, get 2 3-and-outs, got a 10-yard drive, 75 yards, and then had the punt return as well. Ended up being 28-7. So, the game completely changed there. And that's how you win the middle eight. It's a big part of the game, and it's an opportunity to work the clock and do your favor. But you have to execute. It's fine to do that, but you got to get 3 and outs, and you got to get, the punt return obviously was huge, but also, the drive, the 10-yard, I think it was 10 yards, 75 plays was obviously a huge play in the game as well.
Yes, it's exactly what Paul and I were talking about up in the booth during that point, because, since you had the ball to start the game, Indiana was going to get in the third quarter, so this was really a critical time while you're using those timeouts, the time management there to take advantage of it. And then, everything kind of opened up for you, and then you get to short field, you take advantage of it, and third quarter, you pounded on them, and then, that 8-minute theory you had that you maybe didn't have, it all of a sudden was there for you, and you took advantage of it.
That's it. And a big part of that was obviously the punt return, flipping the game, but also the fact that we were able to get the 3 and out coming out of halftime. So, we talk about like almost stealing a possession right there, where if you can end with the ball or end with a kick, which is sort of what we did. I mean, they ended up getting the ball back with, I think it was less than 30 seconds left, and they just kind of ran into the ground.
Yep.
And then they had the ball coming out in the second half, but we got a 3 and out. So, that was huge, and then you get the return, and then all of a sudden you get another 3 and out, and you go right down the field and score, and the scoreboard flips. So I think our guys understand that. We talk about that a lot, and making sure that situational football is a big part of what they do because, again, in this game, boy, situational football becomes critical. And so, again, everything we've done is up to this point now. So our guys don't need to do anything extraordinary other than exactly what they've done at the highest level possible. And again, the other thing we talk a lot about this week is our foundation. We've talked about it, before here. Is just, every day you put a brick down. And that foundation that you're building up to this point, you can't all of a sudden just get ready for this game. You can't, have a pep talk to get yourself ready to the game. You have to build this over time, an entire year, an entire preseason, an entire season to get to right now. And then you trust the training up to this point, your experiences and the practice, and then you go play as hard as you can for your brother. So that's where we're at right now. That's our focus, and we need a big day today.
Is this where the example set by the players to other players means that much more also?
Yeah, I said it to the team on Sunday. If you've been in this game, then you know. If you haven't been in this game, you don't know. And that's the only way I can put it. And we can talk about what that means and everything privately, but there's a lot that goes with that. And the only way that you can do that is to certainly play in the game, but to have guys that have been through it before to explain exactly what's going on and help with that is critical. And we do have a lot of guys who have played in this game before and have experience, so it's important that they lead the way this week.
I had 4 opportunities as player, won 3 and lost 1. That one I lost still scars me. Yep. You don't forget it. That game is the one that hurts it. And I know you guys have been through some situations here and are dealing with that and are scarred. But that makes you tough. Right. They kind of get you and makes the victory that much sweeter when you come around and find a way to get it done. Mecca Book has just been fantastic. He was last week, and maybe didn't do a whole lot games prior to that, Purdue, Northwestern, but then he just stepped up in the biggest times, and again, know why he's a key player. Looked like that pass got tipped a little bit too, that he caught on a touchdown, and just great concentration it takes to do that.
That's it. Yeah, he had great concentration on that play, and we say 1 inch over the defender's fingers, and they actually got tipped. It didn't make it 1 inch over, but that was the exact look that we practiced all week, and that was big time. Talk about competitive excellence in that spot. That was big. I think it was 2nd and 8 maybe on the left hash, and we got into a 12 personnel set, shifted out, and got what we looked for in terms of a matchup. He was actually running behind the defensive end in that spot, and Will layered it just enough, and he had enough concentration to hang on and make that catch. Big catch in the red area. We're going to have to be good in the red area in this game. You want to win this game, you've got to score touchdowns in the red zone.
Be sure to check out the Buckeye Game Day Concert Series presented by the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer before Saturday's game outside of St. John Arena in Buckeye Fan Fest beginning at 10 a.m. Get on board and book your cruise today. Visit BuckeyeCruise.com. Go Bucks and beat cancer. More with Coach Day when we continue on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Buckeye fans. Union Home Mortgage's 1% down payment program is like kicking an extra point or scoring a 2-point conversion. You put 1% down, and Union Home Mortgage will kick in up to 2% on the house. Visit UHM.com or call 877-846-4968 today. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,500 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. with local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs. Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
When you're here, you understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And at Elk & Elk, we're proud to wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. Every client, every day, means if you're ever injured, we're proud to stand with you in court. And when you're here at the shoe, we're proud to stand with you and cheer on the Buckeyes. Whether we're here at the big game or in court, we are committed to you. Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams, the agile, get it done teams, the achieve more together teams, and the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
Learn more about Ohio State at osu.edu/impact.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeyes are known for paying it forward. That's why Buckeyes Care strives to serve the betterment of our community by positively impacting families across Ohio. Join partners American Electric Power, Donato's, Kroger, the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the James Cancer Hospital, Huntington Bank, and WBNS-TV in Columbus in supporting this cause at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeyes Care. Time for our Inside Access with Kroger. A reminder that Kroger Pickup is the easy way to get what you want right when you need it. Try Kroger Pickup today in the Kroger app or at Kroger.com. Coach, we've asked you so much about how well the defense has played as of late. Important that the defense in what they're doing is providing the opposition with as many different looks as possible.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and there's like we've always talked about this time of year. You got to go play and do what you know, but you also got to have curveballs along the way, and that's it. That's the every year. Trying to find that balance is critically important. So it'll be the same thing this week. Make sure you have enough, but only pack what you need in a game like this. It's like going to war, man. You only pack what you need. You don't need all the other stuff in that backpack. And you take what you need and what you use best. Whatever weapons you use best, that's what you bring to war.
Your captain, Cody Simon, I thought had one of his best games, and I'm sure he's going to duplicate that performance again this week. But to see him and Sonny and Caleb in there kind of bobbing back and forth, just like, okay, we're coming, but you don't know where you're coming from. And it was just a thing of beauty, throughout that. I know we're going to talk to Coach Knowles a little bit about it, but the amount of pressure you're able to put on there during that time period, you have to dial it up, and they certainly dialed it up, and you can do it. You can talk about it, you can practice it, but then you got to go out there and execute it, and they were able to get that done.
That's it. It's about execution, just like you said. Yeah, I mean, the first thing is you got to play physical. You got to give great effort. You got to be the hardest playing team in the country. We've talked about that all season. Again, the same thing in this game. But then the next part of that is you can't just be a wild man with your head cut off in this game, as you know. I mean, you have to be able to execute and focus at a high level and have the discipline to do your job. And you don't need to do anything extraordinary. You just need to do your job. The only time we get ourselves in trouble is when guys start having to try to make plays, quote unquote. You got good guys around. You got to trust the guys that are next to you and just do your job. Get some momentum and get downhill, play really, really hard, run to the football. And again, the only thing extraordinary that needs to be done is your effort and your physicality. The rest of it comes down to execution. And that's why practicing is so important. That's why these days, like right now, is important. We got to get on the practice field and make sure that we're all on the same page, so that we can be at competitive excellence and trust each other. And the more you do it, the more confidence you have. I feel like we've built confidence up to this point. it's going to be time to go play here pretty soon.
Brad in Youngstown from our Union Home Mortgage inbox. His question having to do with the expectation that it could be really cold on Saturday. What's the biggest challenge that comes up with that?
Well, it's the same for both teams. And when you play in this game, you got a chance to be cold. I think it's going to be maybe around 20 degrees or so, and that's going to be by far the coldest game we played all year. But you make adjustments. You figure it out, and both teams got to play in it, and that's playing in the rivalry game here in November.
It's not cold for the players. It's because if you're out there moving around and you're running around, you stay warm. It's it. You're sweating. Now, if you're standing there and you're coaching and you're not playing, you get a little bit cold. That's just part of it. But you can dress warm and you can have hand warmers and all those type of things. And the benches are heated nowadays.
Yes, they are. Well, different than
yeah, exactly. You got a lot of benefits, but you can't worry about the temperature because that's the last thing that you're going to be worried about. I never thought about the temperature when it's 4th and 1.
That's right.
You're worried about executing what you have to get done. When you look at this past game, you've had some penalties. You had defensive penalties. You had a couple blocking the back on the offensive side. How do you correct those things?
Yeah, that's exactly why on Sunday when you come in, the first thing you do is you identify the things you've done well, and then you got to identify the things that got to get fixed, and you got to continue to upgrade every week. And so, a couple of those, certainly we're very, very close, and there's some, straining effort, like on a screen where it was really close. Like guys are just giving great effort. Now, when we pull, in a screen and come down the line of scrimmage, we got to come flatter. We're too far up the field. So being flatter will give us a better angle so we don't get that push in the back. We got to do a better job, obviously, in the back end. We have 3 defensive pass interferences. We got to stop with this, and nobody wants to stop more than IGB, so he's going to continue to work at it with Tim and everybody, but we got to be smart with those because penalties will be critical in this game. Those are all the hidden yards.
Yep.
And, I love the effort, and I love the guys driving and pushing and those type of things, but we certainly can't have penalties that get us derailed in this game.
You talked last week quite a bit about the importance of the looks you've been getting from the scout team. No more important than this week also?
Yeah, we got to get a great look this week. Yesterday was solid. Got to be even better today because, the looks and making sure that everybody's on point and exactly what they're going to get on Saturday is always a big part of the success that we have.
Coach Fry's done a good job of, moving those groups around. And, last week, when Josh going out, you had a little bit more time before your next game to, kind of get ready with your new left tackle. Donnie had to step in there. But here on Tuesday, you have to find a new center. And, that's hard. But Coach Fry and that staff over there in that room have done a good job of finding guys, getting them prepared, and then let them go out there and execute it to the best of their abilities.
Yeah, and that's you got to give them credit for being able to do that. And now again, we have a whole week to prepare with those guys, so we got to be really good this week. We got they got some good guys up front. They're strong and powerful. So I think we're on to a good plan here. I think we like what we have. We got to go continue to polish this up and get rid of a couple things and add a couple more things, polish up some other areas, but I think, when you talk about the offensive line, it starts with Justin, but then it goes right to the leaders of Donnie and Josh, and those guys have been great, and they've really helped the inside guys. And I thought, Carson has stepped up when he's had to this year. Tegra's got to be solid in this game, and then Austin's got a great opportunity now as a starter in this game. And probably wouldn't have thought of that a couple months ago, but here we are, and this is the game of football.
John in Pickerington from our Union Home Mortgage inbox. You've said all week the game is about the players. What's it meant to you when you hear your veteran players say they want to win the game for you?
Yeah, well, I want to win it for them. So that's what this is all about. And we've really focused on each other this week. And there's a lot of guys on this team that care about each other, coaches, players included, and that's it. Just focus on each other. Focus on the process. Focus on the game plan. Focus on great week of practice, and that's all you can do is focus on what you can control. And I think you feel that this team is close. The coaching staff's close. The team is close, and we're counting on that to make a difference here on Saturday.
Coach, any more guarantees for you?
No more guarantees. Other than we're just going to play our tail off as hard as we can. We're going to have a good week of practice, and then get after it at Saturday.
No, that's nice. That one from August paid off.
It certainly did.
Coach,
nice. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it. Enjoy whatever you can for Thanksgiving tomorrow, and all the best Saturday.
Okay, thanks.
It's Ohio State Coach Ryan Day. Roosters wants to say congratulations to the 12 lucky prize winners in this year's Roosters Buckeye giveaway, and thank you to all the loyal Buckeye fans who helped make Roosters a fun, casual joint. Be sure to visit @Roosters Wings on Facebook or Instagram for the list of prize winners. We'll talk with Linebackers coach James Laurinaitis when we continue with our weekly show presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill, when your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill, because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
What do football and finances have in common? The team you play with makes a big difference. Credit Union of Ohio is your financial team to help you save and spend like a winner. Whether you're looking to make a big purchase or find ways to build up your savings, you'll always work with a team player at Credit Union of Ohio. Navigate your next big money play easily through Credit Union of Ohio's website at cuohio.org. That's cuohio.org. NCUA insured, equal housing lender.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
This is Ohio State head football coach Ryan Day, asking you to help provide 2 million meals to feed our community. Just round up at the register today. Every dollar provides 10 meals for neighbors in need. Get in the game and let's tackle hunger.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics.
Buckeye fans, power up and carbon down with AEP Energy and Eco Advantage, their 100% renewable energy plan for your home or business. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. We get a chance to talk with linebackers coach and broadcasting veteran James Laurinaitis. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Everything's good. Certainly the feelings of this week, this game, this rivalry, you've lived it from so many different angles. How does that end up filtering down to players?
I think there's always a fine line, right, of they already understand the intensity of the game. I think as a coach, you just try to keep everything consistent. They understand the importance of it. You know, you lived it as a player, right? So you get what they're going through. And I think it's all about the routine. So you talk about the process. And I'm a firm believer that, like, whether you're playing, a D1 FCS school or whether you're playing this, like, the process, if you love the game of football, is the same. Like your film study is the same. Like, you know that, yep. Jen. Like, you're not saying, oh man, this week we're playing so and so we got to do extra. Like, no, you do the same stuff you've been doing. You just know that the physicality and the intensity of the game, if you haven't played in it before, you can't really force them to feel that. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. You know, they got to go through that for themselves the very first time if you haven't played in this game, and so it's just different, and it's really hard. It's really hard. Like, you just preach it over and over, the physicality, the effort to the football. There's nothing really extraordinary. It's just that your effort and your violence has to be elite.
I remember my freshman year, I was on kickoff. We're playing up in Ann Arbor, and I felt like I was levitating. I mean, I was so jacked to be out there that first time ever. And I know you got a shot to play your freshman year, and then your senior year, you kind of know that intensity.
Yep.
And the thing is, you benefit, we do, Michigan guys do, playing in that game, because if you can take that intensity to the next level, you're going to be a pretty good football player.
Yeah.
Because you've played in games where you need to have that intensity. You can't just, you can't joke it. You got to go out there and it's real. Now you played in it. Now you're coaching it. Is it hard to translate that to the guys?
Thankfully for us, we have a very veteran room.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're coaching guys like Cody Simon and Sonny Styles, who are complete pros, like they get it. You know what I mean? And so I think the intensity part is all there, and you don't have to remind them because of the way the game went last year, right? Like the thing that team has always done well is I call it leaky yardage. It means when contact is made, how many more yards are they pushing the pile after that, right? And so you'll consistently look up, and then you're like, how is it 2nd and 5? We make contact at 2 yards. And so it's just reminding them how important it is to be running to the football once contact's made, to continue to really what the Silver Bullets live by is population to the football, right? How do we get 11 hats to the ball? Well, that's more real in this game than any other.
Speaking of Cody Simon, how about the way he's been playing?
Man, he's been playing really well. And I just love how unselfish Cody Simon is, right? So getting to know him last year, I kind of watched him from afar when I was doing this, and then even when I was at Notre Dame, kind of had a respect for him as a player. But when you got to interact with him last year, and we had him at Sam and Mike and Will, and he was a guy that's like, Coach, what do you need? Like, what do you need? You'd go talk to him and be like, man, I wish we could find a way to get you more reps. And he'd be like, it doesn't matter. Like, what do you need? I'm there. And that's just how he carries himself. And so to see him make the decision to come back because he had these goals of being a captain, right? I don't even think it was on his mind being the block O guy. And then to have the production that he's had and see him play well, you're just like, you root for a kid like that, right? Because you're like, he does everything the right way. And so it's been awesome to see him playing at a high level.
Yeah, behind Tommy Eichenberg and Steele Chambers last year, trying to find that role, doing special teams, whatever it takes. But tell you, when he hit Rourke, my back was hurting.
That's right.
And then we couldn't even see the ball out, because it was kind of our, his back was to us, and all of a sudden, Ty's on the football, and we're like, holy cow, what a play there. But, that just had to feel good for him and for the whole team to see that in replay.
It did, and you rep a lot of those things sometimes for weeks without being able to them to kind of come to fruition when it comes to an actual game rep, right? Yeah. You might rep certain things over and over and over for weeks, and then you're like, man, we really get the look that we wanted to execute that defense. Well, you got it, and it's set up perfectly. And he's such a smart player that, it's film study, there's timing, there's a whole bunch of things that kind of go into it. And he studies it, man. And when you study it, you're prepared. Like we had talked about all week with Indiana, that their quarterback liked to duck, and so on the one that he comes up the middle, what's Rourke do? He tries to duck. A lot of guys had missed over the top.
Yep.
And the guys were just tuned in, and but that comes from preparation, and he's one of the best at it.
He's got some athletic ability, though, too. I mean, his burst that he has to turn that corner, it was like,
the
like
short area, the short area quickness, and also, like, I don't think anybody in our room, at least, like, when you're making a teach tape or a clinic tape of footwork at linebacker, like, all the clips are Cody because he's so patient. Coach Fickler used to say to me all the time, like, be slow till it's time to be fast. Like, his feet are always clean, which enables him to make, a lot of plays.
Sounds good. James, thanks as always for your time. We appreciate it.
Of course, anytime.
All right, that's James Laurinaitis, Linebackers coach. Union Home Mortgage is the official home lending sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Learn about their 1% down payment program at UHM.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 2229. We'll talk with defensive coordinator Jim Knowles next when we continue with our weekly show presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
They're trained. They're prepared. Let's do it. They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Hey, Ohio State fans, it takes a lot of energy to root for the Buckeyes. That's why Burger King is going to get your team going with the $20 Buckeye Blitz Bundle. This OSU fan exclusive has a delicious lineup that includes 2 Whopper sandwiches, 1 cheeseburger, 3 small fries, and 3 small drinks. Get over to your local BK and get fueled up for game day. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint. With their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind or grab a carryout. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizza, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Join Coach Ryan Day and experts from across Buckeye Nation to preview every matchup and break down this week's game. Game Time with Ryan Day, presented by Huntington, airs Saturday mornings at 9 on 10 TV in Columbus and is available on OhioStateBuckeyes.com. Defensive coordinator Jim Knowles, thanks for coming out to talk with us for a few minutes. Is your group's ability to adjust on the fly one of the ultimate goals that a defense can have?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's kind of what you aspire to, because most of the time, I mean, you're going to go into a game with tendencies or things they've done, but people are always going to present you with something new or you didn't expect, and you got to be able to adjust to it.
The team up north has a pretty good tight end in Colston Loveland, and you've seen some pretty good tight ends in this league so far. You know, you think of Penn State with Tyler Warren, what you had to do and have a plan for that. Similar approach, but maybe a little bit different with this week's opponent?
No, I think it's similar. I mean, there seems to be a run on, really good tight ends that we've played. I mean, it seems like everybody has one now. So, you just got to kind of build that into everything that you're doing.
When you think about the way the linebackers have played, and we were talking with James about that, is that a sign of guys like Sonny Styles really growing into his role and learning his responsibilities?
Yeah, I think that the more they understand the system and they know where to fit and what to do against certain plays, you just see them reacting faster and faster, and that allows them to make more plays.
Your defensive front, allows those linebackers to get it done, and tell you one guy that's just been consistent as can be is Ty Hamilton there inside. I know Tyleek's been nicked up a little bit, had some injuries early in the year, banged up a little bit. Your defensive ends, you can rotate 4 or 5, but it just seems like Ty is that rock inside.
Yeah, he's the stalwart. He's just the guy that you count on who's always going to do his job, hold the point, eat up blocks, get off blocks. It's one thing to be able to, hold your gap and take the blocks off the linebackers. Another thing, when those guys climb up to get off, to actually escape and make tackles, and Ty does that.
Is recognition of what an opposing offense is doing something that's a year-long process that you hope that recognition at this time of the year is a sharpened skill?
Yeah, but you're always kind of changing and adapting. Things never stay the same, but concepts do, right? That's what you're saying. The things that offenses do, there's a lot of correlation, and the players can recognize that. They can play fast.
When you go back and review opening drives that teams have had against you versus what happens in the second, the third quarter, and fourth quarter, what's the difference? Is it a scripted series of plays or something new that you haven't seen? And then once you see it on, you got to diagnose, and you go out there and destroy it.
Yeah.
What's the difference between early on and then the second, third quarter?
Yeah, I think, like you said, teams, that's the trend, will, present you with an opening script and try to get you off balance. And, it doesn't, no matter what your level of talent is, there are still, thousands of possible formation adjustments and things that go on. So, yeah, we'd like to do better early, that's for sure. But I think you're able to see how we can adapt and adjust, and ultimately to win games. That's the most important thing.
Jim, how important is it for your defense to show different looks?
We like to do that, have a lot of disguise. But, we have good players too. So you don't want to put them out of position by, showing one thing and doing another. Then all of a sudden, a lot of times a guy can be out of position. So we like to do it. We try to blend it in. But ultimately, you got to have your feet set, and you got to be ready to play physical and fast, when it comes down to it.
You've been coaching from the box for a while. The difference between being up in the box and being down on the sidelines, I know you got the big picture, you can see things, but is it just tough being up there and not being able to grab a guy on the sidelines and say something to him?
Yeah, I spent a lot of years, on the sideline, and that's what I thought when I first, went up to the box. But at the same time, if I get excited or, sometimes it's better that I'm up there, and I can just blow off this team, and then, we have a lot of younger coaches, and, the new wave of coaching is a little bit kinder and more gentler than, kind of we grew up with. So, sometimes it's better that I'm away from them, I can get on them all week long and then come to the game and let them play.
How has the technology with the tablets helped?
Great. It's a huge bonus. Most of the time you thought you saw something, back in the old days, I guess, before that technology, you thought you saw something, and, you're kind of asking the players, and, maybe you get a couple different opinions. Now, the film doesn't lie. You see exactly what happened.
It's not just X's and O's on papers anymore, where you got a guy that's drawing like you'd have a bunch of fronts up, and you're drawing formation.
Whiteboard on the sideline.
Right, and you're trying to put the T's and the E's and where everybody's lined up. That's now, if there's a TV timeout or a timeout during a drive, can you go back and watch?
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. You can do that. Yeah,
it's great.
So you don't have to wait till the series is over to make corrections.
Nope. It's pretty much instantaneous.
Wow. And having an experienced guy like Cody Simon, who at least we've been led to believe that's who a lot of the communication is with, that has to help that whole process, doesn't it, Jim?
Yeah, Cody can fix things. He can make adjustments. He can kind of tell other guys, what to do sometimes, so he's really the field general out there.
And Arvell Reese has really, stepped up in his role. When you go to 2 tight ends or 13 personnel, he's going to be in there rocking.
Yeah, Arvell, he's had some good games as of late. He's still growing. I think he's going to be a great one.
Jim, thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. All the best come Saturday.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Ohio State defensive coordinator Jim Knowles. Join us Saturday as Ohio State hosts Michigan. We'll be on the air from Ohio Stadium beginning at 10:30 a.m. The Ryan Day Show, presented by Roosters, has been brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance, the American Dairy Association Mideast, and by Credit Union of Ohio. For Skip Mossick, Colin Behringer, for Jim Lachey and Coach Ryan Day, this is Paul Keels. Thanks for listening to the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics.
Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota. And this month at Tansky Sawmill Toyota, we have 2.99% APR for 72 months on the 2024 and 2025 Toyota Tundras. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com for details. And when you think Tundra, think Tansky.
Think Toyota. Think Tansky.
With approved credit, tax title, and $387 doc fee not included. Offer ends December 2nd.
Okay, name? Occupation? Great. You get a brand new Kia for less than lunch, under $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
Is that a turkey?
Of course, we're talking turkey. With event pricing and the credit approve-a-thon.
Wow, and new Kias are less than lunch?
Yes, under $5 a day. Lease new 24 Kia Forte LXS, EV6 Wind, and Sorento LX. All three under $5 a day.
Wow, that's only $139 a month for 24 months.
Plus new 24 Kia Telluride LX under $8 a day.
$249 for 24 months.
He just got an EV6 with 0% financing.
Lucky goose.
Turkey.
Turkey, right. But I'd never get approved.
If you've got a job, you ride.
You guys are great.
Great cars, great people. Great Lakes Kia.
In Columbus.
GreatLakesKia.com.
GreatLakesKia.com.
You're such a ham.
To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
What's up, sandwich heads? Today on Steve-O's Sandwich Reviews, we've got the tips and tricks to the best sandwich order. And it all starts with this little guy right here. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Partial to pastrami, craving a Cubano. Yeah, sounds delicious, but boom! Add the crisp, refreshing taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar and cue the fireworks. Lunch, dinner, or late night, it'll be a sandwich worth celebrating. Trust me, your boy's eaten a lot of sandwiches in his day, and the one thing I can say with absolute fact, every bite is better with Pepsi.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The holidays are here at the Home Depot. If you're working on getting ready for company,
A lot of company.
make sure you're ready with Black Friday savings. Get up to 40% off select appliances, plus up to an extra $1,000 off select kitchen appliances. Upgrade your kitchen with top brands like GE Profile and get sleek cutting-edge appliances to make sure you've
got hosting handled.
Yeah, you do. Get Black Friday savings now with free delivery and financing on select appliances this holiday at the Home Depot. Offer valid November 6th through December 4th, U.S. only.